Recently, Starmer made a ruthless decision regarding the public. Although this move is said to aim at rectifying past mistakes, it reeks of political manipulation, making Starmer appear as if he has something to hide. What is even more concerning is that this harsh decision against the people seems to have been calculated from the outset to serve the interests of the political elite, while also sparking a serious crisis within the Labour Party. We will delve deeper into this issue, but first, please like and subscribe to the channel to get the latest political updates from across the country.
Our number one mission is to grow the economy, to make sure that we are creating the money in the first place. That remains the number one mission. Nothing knocks that mission.
Let's consider the current situation. The Labour Party has decided to halt all discussions on abolishing the winter fuel allowance for retirees, and anger is spreading. Imagine a packed parliament with everyone ready to discuss this crucial issue, yet the Labour Party slams the door shut, allowing no debate to occur. This action resembles throwing a grenade into a room and walking away. Frustration is radiating from all sides, not just from the Conservative Party and the Liberal Democrats, but even within the ranks of the Labour Party. Many Labour MPs are almost openly calling for this issue to be addressed, yet the Labour Party remains steadfast in its position. This deadlock is causing serious rifts. The Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats are demanding that this matter be brought to public discussion, arguing that a significant decision like cutting support for retirees requires a thorough debate. However, the Labour Party continues to obstruct, leaving a sour taste in the mouths of the public. Those bearing the greatest responsibility are enduring a heavier burden. Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, finds herself at the centre of this controversy, trying to justify a decision that has outraged many. She claims that cutting winter fuel payments is the only way to tackle the public finances, which she attributes to 14 years of Conservative rule. However, this argument is hard to accept. The idea of balancing the budget by targeting the elderly, those most vulnerable, seems like a harsh and callous move. Reeves acknowledges that this is not a choice she desired, viewing it as a difficult but necessary decision for the greater good. However, this explanation becomes less compelling when considering the impact on retirees. These are individuals who have spent their lives contributing to society, and now, in their old age, they rely on these allowances to keep their homes warm during the bitter winter months. The cuts to support, particularly amid rising living costs, feel more like neglect than a reasonable financial decision. This clearly reflects a prioritisation of financial figures over the welfare of those dependent on support to survive the winter. Tensions within the Labour Party are also beginning to surface. Shadow Chancellor Laura Trock has openly opposed her own party without hesitation. She is speaking out on what many have suspected, that the Labour Party has long planned these cuts and is now attempting to evade responsibility. This action reeks of desperation, showcasing political manipulation and making them seem suspect. Trock's criticisms are not merely a disagreement, they represent a clear challenge to the party leadership. She accuses them of attempting to shirk responsibility for decisions they had prepared in advance. By shutting down discussions and pushing for these cuts, the Labour Party appears to prioritise saving face over genuinely addressing the needs of the people. This is a risky game, and it is beginning to backfire. Tough decisions are being made in search of real solutions. After all that has transpired, this is no small ask, and it is indeed difficult to hear. Rachel Maskell, the MP representing York Central, is becoming a prominent voice within the Labour Party, contributing to the turbulence. She asserts that this issue will not quietly disappear. Maskell paints a picture of a party that has overstepped its bounds, acting like a paternalistic state that believes it knows better than those it is supposed to serve. More and more people are realising that the Labour Party is ignoring the real needs of the public in order to promote its own political agenda. This action is creating a rift within the party that may be difficult to mend. Politics needs to abandon easy answers. The budget will soon be announced, and this is when things begin to heat up. Jeremy Corbyn, the former leader of the Labour Party, who has always stirred up political issues, is back in the fray and not alone. He has teamed up with a group of left-wing MPs to form what they call the Independent Alliance. Although they have not yet become an official party, they are making waves in Parliament. It is clear that they are dissatisfied with the party's current direction, especially regarding policies affecting the vulnerable in society. The Independent Alliance has asserted its position by publicly criticising how the government is handling cuts to the winter fuel allowance. They view these cuts as a direct attack on those who are unable to cope and are unafraid to speak out. However, their criticism does not stop there. They also point out other controversial issues, such as the government's arms sales to Israel, which they argue contribute to global instability and human suffering. In a parliament that often focuses on political games, the Independent Alliance is establishing itself as the voice for those who feel forgotten and betrayed. Notably, this group is not just sitting on the sidelines and complaining. They are actively working to reshape the conversation in Parliament, calling for more time to discuss important issues and demanding that the government be held accountable for decisions that affect the lives of the people. Corbyn and his allies see themselves as true representatives of the public, standing up for those who feel abandoned by traditional parties. The top priority is economic development, ensuring that financial resources are generated from the outset. This remains a crucial mission. Nothing can change this. The public's response to the Labour Party's decision is nothing short of an outburst. Organisations like Age UK, which advocates for the rights of the elderly, have led this movement, and the numbers speak for themselves. Nearly 500,000 people have signed a petition demanding that the government reconsider its stance on cutting the winter fuel allowance. This is not just a quiet complaint. It is a cry for help from those who feel betrayed. The anger and fear are becoming evident. People are genuinely worried, and it is not hard to see why. For many retirees, this allowance makes the difference between getting through winter with some comfort or facing the heartbreaking choice between heating their homes or buying food. We are talking about the most vulnerable members of society, individuals who have dedicated their lives to the country, only to be left out in the cold when they need help the most. The disappointment goes beyond anger at another policy decision. It is a profound fear that the government and the Labour Party are turning their backs on those who rely on government support. This is not just a matter of balancing the budget or making difficult economic choices. It is about real lives that are being threatened. Imagine a person in their 70s or 80s on a fixed income suddenly facing the reality that the funds they depend on to keep their homes warm in winter are being cut. It is frightening and feels like a betrayal. This petition is merely a sign of a larger outrage, but it is a significant one. 500,000 signatures did not appear out of nowhere. They are a direct response to a government that seems increasingly out of touch with the realities of the people. That is why it is truly important. We need a transportation system that operates efficiently. That is why this is truly important. We need an NHS capable of addressing the backlog. This is why this matter has become critical. We need a national wealth fund, Great British Energy, to unlock plans and move forward. All these decisions, the ones we have made in the first 7 weeks, are aimed at ensuring that the economy is on the right track. Jeremy Corbyn's latest film has added a new layer of intrigue to the political landscape. He has collaborated with like-minded individuals such as Ayub Khan and Adnan Hussein to form a new alliance that is causing quite a stir. This is not merely a quiet gathering of disgruntled politicians. This alliance does not hesitate to publicly criticise the Labour Party for betraying those they were elected to represent. They express their outrage strongly and without reservation. Corbyn and his group are painting a picture of a lost parliament, where the government's actions have pushed the country into what they describe as a desperate parliament. The message they convey is very clear. They are fighting for a fairer and more peaceful world. They argue that the current government, and even their own party, are obstructing that vision. Whether one agrees with Corbyn's political views or not, it is hard to deny the influence this alliance is creating. The public is now weary of outdated political games and is searching for individuals who genuinely protect their interests. Corbyn's alliance is asserting itself as the voice of those who feel abandoned by mainstream politics. They are directly tapping into the anger and dissatisfaction that has simmered in society for years, doing so with a refreshing yet sarcastic candour. They are unconcerned with sugarcoating or displaying politeness in their criticisms. They are here to shake things up. Although this alliance may not have the strength to form a government, Their presence cannot be overlooked. They are steering the conversation toward a new aspect, focusing on the real issues people are facing rather than the usual political games found in Parliament. So, what do you think about this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest political news from across the country.